What up, man? It's Vash's MP, man, and I want to talk about Gekkan Shoujo Nozaki-kun. I just watched episode 1. That shit was hilarious to me, man. That was a really, really funny series to me, man. The basic premise is that there's a girl, Sakura Chiyo, and she likes or is infatuated with or possibly is in love with this guy in her class who is named Nozaki. And she goes to try to confess to him, but what she says to him is, "I'm your fan." She doesn't say, "I love you, I like you." She says, "I'm your fan." And he pulls out what looks like a calligraphy tablet and signs it. But he signs it under Umeno Sakiko. He's like, "Thanks for being my fan, Umeno Sakiko." He gives it to her. She's just like, "Wait, what?" And she's like, no, I want to be with you always. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, he says, "You want to come to my house?" So he brings her to his house, and it turns out that he's a manga artist or whatever, and he has her to fill in, you know what I'm saying, the pages, you know, the background pages, and everything that needs to be blacked in, he has her to fill it in or whatever. So now she's like kind of his manga assistant or whatever, right? And he is a manga artist under the name Umeno Sakiko, and Sakura is just like, "I recognize this name. I recognize it somewhere." And she goes home and she opens up her Shoujo manga or whatever, the serialized monthly manga Shoujo thing. And she goes to like this one section that says Umeno Sakiko, and it's like the most popular girls' love story like ever, man. It's like the most popular love story ever, and everyone is under the impression that Sakiko Yumeno is a woman, is a girl, is a teenage high school girl. And honestly, like when he wrote it down on the calligraphy pad thing, and I looked at it, I was like, Sakiko, like that's a woman's name, right? I like the Yumeno part. I was just kind of like, that sounds feminine too, but Sakiko specifically to me sounded feminine. So I was kind of like, how is that? You know what I'm saying? Like a pen name, but that's a girl's name, I thought. So that was kind of, you know, that threw me off or whatever. Just like I'm pretty sure it throws everybody off or whatever. But this series is so fucking funny though, man. Cause like after that though, she, like I said, she just becomes his, you know, manga assistant or whatever. She just filling in the blank for him and all that type of stuff. And he's also like bouncing ideas off of her, and she is bouncing those same ideas all towards him. You know, just saying whether this works or not, whether this is lame or not. You know, all this type of stuff. And she also thinks that, oh, maybe we have a special relationship because I'm the only one that knows that he is Sakiko Yumeno. And he's like, yeah, nobody believed me when I told them. So he told everybody. They didn't believe him. You know what I'm saying? She mistakenly said, "I'm your fan," you know what I'm saying, like as a way of saying that I like you. And he took that to mean that she knew that he was Umeno Sakiko. So I was just kind of like, wow, this is fucking ridiculous, man. It is so fucking funny. Like, this series is so funny. I was genuinely laughing at this series, man, because the music they choose to play, the expressions on Sakura's face, it's just so funny. Like, the scene when she first goes to his house, she's like, "This is the first time I've ever been in a boy's room." And then she's like, "Wait a minute, I'm in a boy's room." And then she's like, "Oh my God, what if, maybe I should just go home. But no, I can't do that because then another girl will come." And they played like this dramatic music in the background. Like she was really going through, it was like some type of dilemma. Also, what they got, the music in the background would have suggested that this was a life and death matter. So that made me laugh or whatever. But this is a series that I can tell I'm gonna like. I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy this series, man. It's one of those series where like the guy is completely oblivious to the girl's feelings, and the girl, you know what I'm saying, for all her might, is trying to get these feelings across, but she just can't quite do it because of the shyness and the lack of understanding from the guy's point of view as well. And she's using the mangaka thing as a way of getting closer to this guy because she actually is in the art club, so she's using this as a means to get closer to him. And I think that he is using her because he doesn't have a female reference. Well, at least in episode 1 he doesn't, you know what I'm saying, other than her. So he's using her as a reference, you know what I'm saying, to like understand better how females work, you know what I'm saying, because he even admits in this episode that even though he's writing a Shoujo manga, a manga about love and women's feelings and all that type of shit, he hasn't even experienced a first love. So You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of weird that he's writing this and he hasn't even experienced it yet himself. So this series is great though. I highly recommend it though, man. If you want to get a good laugh and you want to just get like a feel good anime, you know what I'm saying? I think it's well animated. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Defrag a little bit, slightly. It's better animated than Defrag, but it kind of reminds me of it a little bit with this somewhat animation style with the brightness of the colors and all that type of stuff. More so than anything, if you ever read Blackbird, you know what I'm saying, it reminds me like specifically of that because of the way that the character's eyes are and the way that the male characters kind of look. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me of that. So please, I really do recommend this series though, man, especially with what happened in the end. So they have some, you know, misadventures with riding double on a bike, which I think they say is illegal to actually ride double on the cage that's on the back of the bike. And so Nozaki gets like a two, you know what I'm saying, man bike. So it's like he's in the front, she's in the back, they both pedaling. You know what I'm saying? People just looking at them like, what the fuck? And then he's like, no, this isn't right, this isn't working. Maybe I should just pedal and you just sit there and do nothing. And so they do that and it still doesn't work. And then she's like, no, like I should at least do something. And he's like, okay, well you pedal, but just hold on to like my waist. And she's holding on to his waist and it's just like not working like at all. It's just not working at all. But then like in the end he figures out a way to integrate all this experience into his manga, which he has the male character walk side by side with the girl, neither one of them on the bike. The girl is completely nervous that she's walking next to this character that she likes, and it works because it's sort of a parallel to how Sakura feels when she's in the company of Nozaki, so it works. But the way that it ended was that after all these misadventures that they have or whatever, she sees him, like they're going to school or whatever, and she sees him standing at a tree, and there's a cat stuck in a tree. And, you know, the cat jumps towards him, he rescues the cat, blah, blah, blah. And there's some more cats who jump towards him as well. And she's looking at this, she's just like, yeah, like I can see his soft nature and his gentle nature as a human and as a man and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I really do like him. I still haven't told him how I feel, so I got to say something. And so she's like, Nozaki-kun, and she's just cheering herself on the inside, like, come on, Sakura Chiyo, you can do this. You got it, Sakura Chiyo. You can do this. Just do it. And then she says, yet again, I am your fan. And what does he do? He pulls out another fucking tablet and signs it and gives it to her. And she's like, yay, I got another autograph. Yay. And I was just like, what the fuck? It was so ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It's so funny to me. I love this series. I can't wait to see it. I was always hoping to find a series that would make me laugh just as much as I did watching Engaged, See Unidentified. And this seems like it's going to be it. That shit is hilarious to me. So I can't wait to see what happens next, man. Let me know if you've watched this series. And let me know if you plan to watch this series. Because like I said, I think it's really funny. I think it's pretty good. If you watch the series or if there's a manga for this, if you read the manga, is it worth the read and all that type of stuff, man, just let me know. Vash Stampede, gone.